in the room. Boom. And we are back with episode
24
of Tent Talks with it's Rylee G
and Harmonious Yuriy.
I feel like we kind of completely forgot on playing that intro song.
Oh yeah, can we play it?
No, it's gonna take forever to find it and get to play it and everything. So it's like, no, it's too late. We're gonna do that later. I don't want to make the whole beginning of the podcast me trying to find the intro song, but we definitely gotta get that all set up so we can just, you know, press the button, then boom.
Press the button and go.
All right, I'm gonna put the chat away. Just let me know, guys, if we are live and everything's fine and whatnot or whatever. But all right, boom, here we go. It is kind of distracting. Now this time for this episode we have a monitor in front of us, so it is a little bit distracting.
Yeah, we're not used to all these screens in front of us.
Well, I am. You're not.
Well, not when we've done the show.
No, that's true. Even like me right now, like I'm having trouble trying not to, you know, look at the screen or whatever. But there's nothing on there, so it's fine. Either way, boom, we are back with another episode of Tent Talks, and no guest this time.
Yep, just us.
And honestly, like for anyone who's been watching since the beginning of Tent Talks, this is something that Rylee and I have talked about before, where we said we never really even wanted this to be like an interview thing or a thing where we have guests on, you know, all the time. It was always supposed to be just like us talking about topics, and then it quickly became a thing where we like wanted to have our friends on, and then like so right now, you know, we're only having like our friends on. I am getting like some DMs asking like, yo, how can I, you know, get on the podcast and stuff like that, and I'm just like telling them like it's not an interview. It's like my goal is not to find people to interview. My goal is just to do this with you every Sunday, you know. And then we have like friends that like want to come on, then we do that as well.
Exactly. And if we find somebody we really like and
exactly, or if it's someone we're really interested in, like I kind of like how like other podcasts out, like, you know, do it out there as well, where they won't really have a guest, but if there's something they find really entertaining, you know, that their audience all knows about, they'll go like, you know, find that person or like something about that and like interview that situation.
I think that's more entertaining too, when we have that common interest.
Dude, I'm so my freaking armpits are all sweaty right now.
Why? Why are you so sweaty?
I have no idea. Wait, don't look at the chat. Stop reading the chat.
Somebody says my audio sounds lower.
Oh, that's really? Why. Hold on.
Yeah, her audio is low.
Really? All right, is this better? Gotta remember to keep it. Oh wait, that's why.
Okay.
All right, sweet.
Better. Okay, I could already hear it in my headphones that it's better.
Yeah, her audio is low. Okay. Try not to read the chat though. We're just gonna have the chat up just in case. F you. All right. Either way, I feel like the first thing we should talk about is address the elephant in the room, which is
oh my god, as soon as you said that, my stomach started to hurt.
Really?
Yes, it's just so embarrassing at this point. But I feel like it should just be addressed and out of the way.
Okay, so basically I just want people to, because you didn't have a chance to talk about it, you know, like you didn't say anything. Basically what we're going to talk about right now is on our last episode of Tent Talks, where we had Adam22 as a guest. At one point I had to stand up and walk away to go use the restroom, and I remember before we even started the episode, I was looking at Rylee's notes, and she had a whole, like, you know, hella different notes of like or questions she wants to ask. So when I went to the bathroom, I was like, hey, just ask one of those questions, and then you know, I'll come back in a second. And then when I came back, you guys were talking about the little Reese situation, so I thought like, oh, this is weird that Rylee decided to ask this question. But then when I rewatched it, I didn't realize that you completely froze up and then didn't say anything.
Yeah, honestly, I was like super anxious about this episode from the get-go, since Yuri's been saying like he wants to have him on, just because like I do work there, but Adam and I never talk. Like we just never talk. I'm just there doing packaging and stuff, so I already kind of felt weird. And it's like before when we had on AD and House Phone, like I had already had conversations with them both before, you know, so I kind of felt a little more comfortable. And I don't know, I was already just nervous for this interview. We had so many people watching. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my god, like I was like, he's gonna think I'm so lame for like any of these questions. Like this is gonna be just too embarrassing. I was like, I'd rather not even say anything. And then after, of course, like I automatically regretted it and thought of like so many ways I could have turned the situation around and like made it interesting and like fun and not awkward at all. But I don't know, I guess I just choked in the moment.
I know, it was interesting because I was like watching it. There's like moments where you're like about to ask a question, then you go, I'm nervous. Then I'll just like, but.
Like, I'm not lying. Like, I did feel very intimidated and, like, nervous.
And
obviously, I was very quiet.
I was talking to this guy that we both know. His name is John. And I was, like, talking to John about the situation. He works at Best Buy and shit. And he was, like, telling me... I was, like, telling him, like, what happened because I guess he watched it. And then he was, like, telling me the same thing. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I probably would have done the same. He's like, I've been in the same room as Adam, but he's like, I've never talked to him before. So he's like, if that was me, he's like, I would have probably freaked out too, you know? So like, that's one thing that I have to remember is like, I've been, you know, working close with him for like 4+ years already. And then you haven't even really had a one-on-one conversation. So obviously it's going to be a little bit awkward.
And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It was just such an uncomfortable situation. Plus it's like, he's my boss on top of it too. And I always feel awkward around like higher up people, you know, around me. Like, I always don't know what to say. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. It's just, it's so embarrassing. And now that I, like, am scarred with that. Like, afterwards, I was just, like, kept replaying it in my head. Like, dying inside.
Oh, my God. But the thing is, that's how you know, like, I was explaining to Rylee that, like, Rylee has not seen the amount of learning I've had to do as for, like, trying to be on camera. And I was explaining to her that, like, back in the day, I was vlogging for a long time, and I have like hundreds of vlogs that I filmed and edited, and it happened to me so many times where I'd be out filming vlogs or like, you know, just like filming vlogs. I'd come home later that day to edit that same vlog so I can get it out for the next day, and I would listen to how I was explaining things or how I was like talking during the vlog, and I would just be like cringing so hard. And there was like many moments where like I would come home thinking I have like a full, you know, vlog that everything's fine, and then I'll listen to what I'm saying, and I'm like as I'm explaining to the vlog, I'm like, hey, this is Yuriy, I'm here at this place, blah, blah. Like, I'm, like, skipping words. I'm, like, the shit that I'm saying isn't even making sense. And, like, it makes sense in my head as I'm saying it, but when someone else listens to it, you're like, what the fuck are you even saying? Like, there was, like, basically, I had to go through hella, you know, like, moments of listening to myself talk and just cringing so hard, going, like, fuck. Even now, whenever Rylee and I watch my old vlogs, I'm always telling her, like, I'm always, like,
fast forwarding.
I'm always skipping through the things where I'm talking because I'm, like, I already had to edit that, you know, for hours and listen to it, and I was cringing so hard. Now I have to listen to it again. I'm just like, no, it's so hard to listen to.
I know, and it really is just practicing being in front of the camera. Like, I feel like being in front of a camera, listening to yourself after, and just realizing, like, yourself in social situations, it's just it is the most uncomfortable thing. And, like, I think that's, like, the hardest thing is to, like, face yourself, accept yourself, and, like, just work on things you can obviously improve. But it just takes so much practice because being in front of the camera is not a natural thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
For some people it is. I'm gonna go grab the ashtray and a lighter.
Yeah, some people are naturals with it, but it is really challenging. Alright, I'm gonna read the chat while Yuri gets the lighter. Look, see, now I'm going silent again because I get nervous. I get nervous without Yuri by my side. He's like my comfort blanket.
I'm getting hungry all of a sudden. But, you know, I was going to talk about is, like, my biggest piece of advice for anyone, especially, you know, like, for you or anyone like you who's, like, trying to build their confidence or build their personality on camera. I feel like it's kind of, like, super corny advice, you know, like, you hear it all the time. But it just, like, you have to kind of be able to grow confident in the person you are and grow confident in, like, the stuff that you say, even if you know that the stuff that you say isn't right, or you're, like, you know, you're not super knowledgeable in the situation or stuff like that. Like I always go back to what my teachers used to say back in the day, which is, like, there are no stupid questions, you know, like, say, like, you have to kind of just grow the confidence into saying what you want to say. If you say something that's awkward, you're gonna have to, like, accept the awkwardness and be like, oh fuck, I didn't expect that question to go over like that or something like that, you know, like, you kind of have to accept the situation and then not be so, like, worried about people's thoughts about what, you know, what people are thinking at that moment and stuff like that. So I feel like that's the biggest part, is just not really overthinking it.
Totally, just being confident. I'm telling myself I'm reading a book a month now so I could up my vocabulary game, up my fucking communication skills. I feel like I've been lacking in the reading department, so I'm challenging myself to that to become a better speaker.
I've been lacking in the reading department for so long, but that is something that I told Rylee the other day, that reading books is, like, one of the best ways you can, you know, help yourself articulate yourself better and, like, just talk better. True. Because when you're reading something that's been proofread and, like, corrected so many times, like when you're reading a book, like a really good book especially, the way those sentences are laid out and the way they form their thoughts is like so perfectly and so cohesive. Like you can learn a lot just from reading a book and seeing how someone explains a situation or what words they use, and then you'll even start learning new words. Learning
new words, you're looking them up constantly because you're like, what the fuck did I just read?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I have no idea
what
that means.
You know why I honestly don't read though is like, I think maybe it is like my whole life I've had like a short attention span, or like I have ADHD or some shit like that. But I remember my whole life in elementary school and high school and middle school, like I can, read a book and like turn in work and like answer questions about what the hell the book is about. But if I ever sit down to read a book, like I'll read 2, 3, 4 pages, and then by the time I get to the 5th, 6th page, like I already forgot what I read like in the last pages. And then like this happened to me many times, like where I'll get to like this, close to the middle or middle of a book, and then I'm just like, what am I reading? Like, I don't even know what's going on. And then, like, I'll get to this point where I'm like, I have to reread this to get the full picture. And then I'll go to reread and I'm like, this is taking too much time. And then I won't ever fucking read. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a good book reader. Like, I can't keep track of the shit that I'm reading to myself.
Yeah,
like,
that's because you're reading the words and you're thinking a million thoughts in your head. Like, I think a lot of people do that too. But I feel like I'm so the opposite. That's so funny. Like, how you're saying I could read stuff, do the paperwork, and turn it in. Like, I hated doing fucking homework. Could not ever do. Like, I hated looking through books and, like, having to fucking fill that shit out. But if I find a good book that I'm reading and it feels like a movie's playing through my head, then it's like I can get down with that. Like, I actually do like reading because it does feel like I'm actually kind of watching a movie in my head in a way.
Thank you so much, Prideful Lion, for the $20 donut. We have to take a shot.
Oh, I already have them poured
up. Oh, shit. Okay. You know what I was going to say? This sounds like... I feel like the more I talk about myself, the more I realize how stupid I actually am. But like one of the only books back in the day that I had that what you're describing, which is like you read it and it feels like you're going through a movie in your head.
Stop, yeah.
It's like you're like, oh wow, like you're actually putting yourself in the perspective of like what they're portraying. The only time I ever had that was with this kids book. It was like Bridge to Terabithia. No, it was not Bridge to Terabithia. No, it was
Because of Winn-Dixie.
No, it was like fuck, dude. I need to remember the name of this book. It was like a 3-book series, and it was about this town that lived in like this town lived inside this border where there was like a wall that went around this town, and like everything that was outside the town was like super evil and scary and sus. And like the book I was reading was from the perspective of a girl, like a young girl, and she was super curious where she always wanted to go out of the the border or out
Narnia?
of the. No, it was not Narnia. But anyway, it was like a book about this girl who kept going out of the lines, like trying to discover more and more, and she ran into all these like woodland creatures and like stuff like that. And it was such a good book. I remember when I was reading that, the whole time I was like, it felt like I was in her shoes, and it was so cool. But it was a fucking kid's book, so it's probably not that big of a flex to say
I felt like
read
that with the Hunger Games. Have you ever watched the Hunger Games movies?
No, I never watched them.
Babe, you have to watch them because when I was reading those books, it's like if you watch the movies and you just imagine it as a book, it's fucking intense the whole time. You're like, fuck, what happens? And they have I think they have 3 books too.
Really?
I wonder what series you're talking about. I swear it's Narnia.
It's not Narnia. If we go back to my parents' house, they have the books still. My parents still have those books that I read, dude. I was so fucking into them. It was like a girl with orange hair on the cover.
Orange hair.
Fuck, dude. I can't remember. I feel so shitty for not remembering. But I did read that shit like in fucking elementary school or whatever.
Should we take these?
Oh yeah, let's take these shots, dude. Prideful Lion, thank you so much for the $20 dono. We're taking shots for every $20 dono today. Fuck it, whatever. Even though I got 2 wasted last night. Oh, Cheers. We should talk about that.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Oh god, Jesus. Okay, so last night I finally did the hot tub stream. Or we finally did the hot tub stream. But I posted on Instagram that I wanted to do the hot tub stream at a public park. I did not have the time to find a public park that will, number one, allow me to fill up, an inflatable pool out there, and also a public park that has like a faucet where I can just like get all that water. Basically, I couldn't find the location in time, so we have to do it in the backyard. And then also we don't have like any like source of water out here, so and I also didn't get like a hose that connects to the faucet, so we filled up the giant tub in our backyard. And if you guys watched the stream last night, we had to keep bringing buckets of water to fucking fill the thing up. And we finally got it working, and it was basically the hot tub, and it was a really good stream. I had a really good time. Lucha Live pulled up. Shout out to Lucha Live and his girlfriend Peach.
No, it was a one tiny white bucket of water that we had to fill this huge ass.
Yeah. It was like a tiny little bucket. Exactly. It took forever. It took like an hour.
It was ridiculous. But finally we got somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. The stream went really well, but towards the end, I started realizing like, oh no, like I've gone too drunk. And then like at one point, like I stood up to go to the bathroom because I was like, I can feel my levels rising of drunkenness. Like I've gone so drunk so many times, so now I know when I'm about to get too wasted. Like I can feel it creeping in. So I know that usually once I feel that feeling, I need to go make myself throw up to get the rest of the alcohol out of my system so my body doesn't continue processing it. So I went to the bathroom, made myself throw up hella, and then like as soon as I finished throwing up, I was like, oh fuck yeah, I feel better. And then I went back to the tub, and then I was out there for like, I don't know if you noticed, I came back, I was out here for like 5 minutes, and then I was like, I need to go throw up again. And then I left again, and I went back to the bathroom, made myself puke a hella more times. And then I was just like, once I finished puking, I was like, I can't continue sitting. Jesus. I was like, I can't continue sitting in that water. So I went outside. We ended the stream there. And then we ate a hella pop.
You ended it so abrupt.
I know. I was feeling too fucked up. Like, I honestly, like, I threw up hella pizza.
You took hella shots?
I took hella shots.
You didn't ask me.
I took like 5-6 shots.
Oh my god.
It was fucking intense. And then... basically, yeah, I had to end the stream. Like, I'm sorry, like, it ended so abruptly, but I didn't want to tell Lucha, like, yo, can you continue on the stream? I honestly felt like going to the bedroom and just going to sleep. Yeah, but I felt so bad that our friends were over, we kicked it for a little bit longer, and then everyone left, but Jesus Christ. I thought today in the morning I was going to wake up hungover and fucked up.
But you felt good?
I didn't feel great, you know, but I didn't feel terrible. That's the good thing. And then now we're drinking more, so fuck it, whatever. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Bruh.
Threw up the mayo. Ew, I forgot you ate mayo too.
Oh, I did throw up the mayo. Dude. That's honestly probably why I got so sick. Is like, I was taking... oh, and I was dipping the mayo in ranch. Bro, what was I fucking doing?
Messy.
I was doing spoons of mayo dipped in ranch. And taking shots.
That just, yeah, no wonder why you threw up.
Bro, you know what that reminds me of? You never watched Futurama, but there's Futurama is like this cartoon show. Thank you so much, Pride, for line for the $20 donut. We'll take those shots in literally 1 second. But in Futurama, there's like all these people, and then there's like one of the main characters is a robot. And then in one of the episodes, the robot, like, he's always like known for being a robot, so his like way of thinking of life is way different, where he does not give a shit about anything because he doesn't care about life because he's just a robot type shit. And he's like an alcoholic and a drug abuser and shit or whatever. His name's Bender. Either way, there's an episode where Bender, he like goes through this operation where they bring him to life, where like they take his robot body away and give him a real human body. And then as soon as he gets his human body, he like starts eating pizza and like drinking stuff, and he's like, this shit tastes so good. He's like, what the fuck? Because he was a robot, he can never taste anything. He's like, I didn't realize this shit tastes so good. And then he just starts fucking eating hella, and then he realizes that, you know, getting drunk is fun because it gets you fucked up. So he starts drinking hella, and then he starts smoking hella, and then literally within like a couple months, he becomes like 500 pounds, gets a heart attack, and dies.
Oh my god.
And honestly, I feel like that's how I am when I'm drunk. Like, I'm just like fucking, I don't give a fuck. I'm just like gluttonous, eating fucking mayo dipped in ranch. Basically, yeah.
I can't believe you were doing that. That's what happens when I leave you by yourself for
what were you doing? You were talking to the beach.
We were catching up.
Well, I was getting super shit faced.
Yeah, I didn't even realize you were drinking that much.
Bro, I drank way too much. Before we continue, I want to quickly give a huge shout out to our sponsor for this episode of Tent Talks. And also, I saw that from the last episode of Tent Talks, I mentioned that, you know, we have the sponsor. A couple more people hit me up trying to sponsor us, and I have not had a chance to reply to you guys yet. So thank you guys so much for wanting to support the Tent Talks. I'm gonna get in touch with you guys about you know, sponsoring future episodes or whatever. But I want to give a huge shout out to our very first sponsor ever, Stay Grounded on Instagram. So on the last shout out on the last episode, I did not do that well of like giving their full Instagram. Like I feel like once I re-listened to it, I was like, damn, I could have gave them a little bit more info. But either way, their on Instagram is Stay Ground Dead, like, you know, actually like a dead person. Instead of ground dead like ED, it's EAD or whatever. So Stay Ground Dead on Instagram. It's a whole Instagram about fashion. They basically post all the newest brands, all the newest upcoming brands. They post like new series from all these brands. It's basically all about fashion. They just ask people, do you like this piece, or do you not like this piece? That's all their fucking thing is about, and they're doing a really good job at it. They have like over 30,000 Instagram followers, and I can tell by who follows them from the people I follow that they're a legitimate brand. I mean, they're not even a brand, like they're a legitimate Instagram account, and they're doing a good job at what the hell they're doing. They're posting all the fucking time, all day, every day, and it's all super sick shit that I'm always like surprised about. So if you guys are trying to stay in touch with the fashion culture or like the streetwear stuff, follow Stay Grounded on Instagram. And also, if you guys have a brand that you guys want to promote or get people's opinions on, get in touch with them, because they post a lot of brands every single day, and I'm pretty sure they just post whoever they just want to keep their content going or whatever. We're
gonna take a shot for Stay Grounded.
Oh, okay. We're gonna take a shot for. We have to take a shot for Prideful Line right now as well.
Well, yeah, this is the Prideful Line shot.
Oh, okay.
But in honor
of Stay Grounded. Let's go. Okay, I like that. So exactly, huge shout out to Stay Grounded. We appreciate you guys so much. They literally hit us up saying like they just want to financially support us. And we were like, dude, fuck yeah, I'm down. That's the best shit ever. So we're doing it, and I'm super hyped. So huge shout out to you guys. We're gonna take these second shots right now. Riley's filling them up. Honestly, I think I'm going to take this shot right now, and then I'm going to wait like 30 minutes before I take another one. Because I do not want to revisit what happened last night. I got way too fucking sick. Either way, let's take these shots.
All right.
Cheers, Prideful Lion. And also, cheers to the chat. And huge cheers to Stay Grounded. Thank you, guys.
Cheers to Stay Grounded.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so earlier on Instagram, I posted that we're going to be answering questions today. But before we get into that, I just want to cover the last topic I have, the only topic I have right here listed. And basically, I want to talk about something that I've thought about for a while too, where I feel like anyone who has been watching YouTube or just like watches media in general notices that the more popular you become, as famous a person becomes or a company becomes, the more they kind of have to keep their personal politics and personal opinions to themselves, and then only kind of express themselves when their politics or opinions align with the rest of the world, for whatever everyone else is saying at the moment. And there's many people that have called out the fact that just because everyone thinks a certain way doesn't make it correct. There's many philosophers and many other people that have there's so many fucking wisdom quotes about this shit, like just because everyone thinks something, it is not true. And the thing that I want to get to is basically that I remember thinking to myself a long time ago that if my YouTube channel ever grew to a point where I had a lot of eyes on me, I wouldn't care what popular opinion is. I would always do what I think is interesting or cool, or I'm like and the main thing that I'm getting to right now is like separating the art from the artist, which is back in the day I feel like you can before Instagram, before social media, before the internet and stuff, you can be a fan of an actor or singer or whatever and stuff like that, and you won't really know too much about their personal lives. And then even if you did, you would not really care. You would just be like, no, I just like his or her acting roles, I like his or her singing and stuff like that. And I feel like now with cancel culture and the way the world is now, like you can't really separate art from the artist anymore. It's like now whatever the artist does, like people don't want to listen to, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but people don't want to listen to R. Kelly anymore because R. Kelly's a fucking weirdo. He has all these hit songs, but then he's a fucking weirdo dude. So like, are you supporting the weird shit that he did in his past by listening to his music? Some people might say yes, some people might say no, but I just want to say that like I feel like it'd be good to separate the fact that I enjoy the song, but I don't care for that guy as a person. I don't care what they do with their lives. I don't care like this or like what they do, but I just like this song. The song sounds nice, or whatever. And either way, the point I'm trying to get to is recently this person, I don't want to say their name or what they do or anything, just like I don't know, just keep it kind of vague. This person who I was like a fan of, not like a huge fan of, but I just thought their stuff was like really entertaining and really funny. Jesus Christ. I just keeps
pop off.
I know, it just keeps popping off. But either way, this person who I was like a fan of in the past, or just like a fan of their work in the past, followed me on Instagram recently, and I haven't even talked about like the fact that they followed me, even though they're a verified account, they're a huge account, and like it would be super cool to be like, yo, this person followed me, and like get in contact with them or something like that. But now am like personally worried to even say that like, oh, this person followed me, or it would be super cool to invite this person on Tent Talks just to talk to them about, you know, their what the hell has gone through their lives, or like the shit they're working on and like stuff like that. But like at this point, I'm also like too fearful of talking about this person too much or having them on our show.
What did this person do?
They didn't really do anything. It's just like they're
or accused of.
They're not even accused of. It's just this person tends to do very edgy type of jokes and stuff like that, where, you know, his barrier of jokes, like, very, you know, it crosses the boundaries a lot and stuff like that. And there's a lot of other YouTubers that do that, like that guy Danny Mullen, who recently went on the No Jumper thing. He has like he has a t-shirt, you know, like merch or whatever for his YouTube channel. One of his t-shirts says Danny Mullen freed the slaves, just because it's like a joke in his community. It's like, you know, it's like a meme, but if the wrong person sees that, that's fucking weird. You know, it's like a weird thing to have a shirt. But either way, I'm just saying that edgy jokes are a thing on YouTube. This person is like, has been kind of like an edgelord for a long ass time, and like now I'm at this point too where I'm like, fuck, it would be so cool to invite this person to come on Tent Talks, or even talk to them, or, you know, like do some sort of content with them. But I'm also like, I wouldn't want to deal with people going like, you're doing content with this person, so that means you agree with everything they do politically or opinion, you know, like opinion wise and stuff like that. And I don't know, like I never thought I'd fall into the shoes of not doing what I thought would be interesting just to appease, you know, the mass audience. But now I guess I'm in those shoes.
Look, I mean, Michael Jackson.
That's what I'm saying.
Who knows what happened?
That's
but
what I'm
I'm not
saying.
not gonna stop listening to "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" or Thriller or something like that, just because. I don't know, because I mean, there's so many different sides to the story where it's like.
And imagine Michael Jackson was still alive,
and then it's like exactly like R. Kelly, like people still are gonna slap Ignition and.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's just, I know it sucks because they're terrible fucking.
But then also, I would never want to have R. Kelly on Tent Talks. That would be weird, because he actually is a weirdo. You know what I mean? That's listening to his music. But I guess the person I'm trying to talk about right now is like, they never, not that I know of, but they never really did anything bad. You know what I mean? Or evil or like crazy in a way. It was like all, from what I understand, it's all like jokes that have gone a little bit too edgy, and some people got upset. And that's the only reason why this person is kind of unliked by some people. And like even that alone is enough for, you know, if we were to bring him on, it would be like a huge deal. Like, oh no, you are a bad person because you like this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who this person is.
I've told you about him before. I just don't want to say his name. But either way, I just want to say that little piece, I guess. There's really not much more I can say about that, but I just want to bring that up. Now we're gonna I posted on Instagram earlier today. I was like, yo, we're gonna be answering questions. Like, send us your questions in. Of what you guys want to be answered during Tent Talks. And also
your story from yesterday.
I know, if anyone here missed the Instagram post and wants to ask a question, we'll do also $5 questions. So if anyone donates $5, you guys write a question, we'll answer your questions on stream right now as well. So right now, let me just show you guys how many we have. That's too many. I have way too many questions. We're gonna have to like just choose the best ones. So
this is why I was like, oh, we should select them before.
Oh, I know, exactly. But what would we have done? Like, taking screenshots of them or something like that?
Or we could have just wrote them in our notes.
You're right. Should we just go through them one by one? Okay, so Magnum GI asked us, did you guys resolve the water issue about deflating the fucking pool? We did. Turns out the pool has like these holes in the bottom that you can just unplug, and it drains all the water very slowly. God damn it, maybe we really should have let me just quickly go through these. Someone says, can I blow your back out? No. Say there exists extraterrestrials. Have you seen the whole thing about UFOs and shit?
Yeah, I was gonna actually write that in my
Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah.
Do you believe they visited Earth?
I don't know. I think they're coming. But I don't know if
they're coming. Well, why do you think they're coming?
I think they're coming, but I don't know if they're gonna be like the big head with the bulgy eyes, or if they're gonna be like regular people, or like just weird creatures. I don't know what they're gonna look like, but I do think they're out there. You know what's? It's like there has to be other people.
No, I agree, 100% agree with the fact that there has to be other people. But you know what's a really interesting fact, or like perspective that someone brought up, is the fact that right now you can buy the cheapest you know, like camera device, and it'll have 1080p video. You know what I mean? Like you can go on Amazon right now and buy like a 1080p webcam for like $50, $60, $100 at most. Basically, almost everyone on Earth who has access to like, you know, technology usually has like a pretty decent camera. You know what I mean? Like they're usually not too bad. There's like not that many shitty cameras out there, right. And especially with the military, you would they have tons of money to go through. You would expect them to have the qualiest of the, you know, best quality fucking video camera or mic possible. Oh shit. Happy birthday, Manny Gabe. Thank you so much, Jazzy97, for the $20 don. We have to take 2 more shots now.
Happy
Jesus
birthday.
Christ. We have to sing happy birthday in a second. But either way, what I wanted to bring up is during this UFO like thing, all this footage is coming out of all these UFO sightings. And 60 Minutes did a whole like episode on the shit or whatever.
With the like NASA or something.
No, with one of the dudes like who works with the military or NASA, like military, it's something like that. And basically, they're showing all these footage, like videos that they're like in black and white, and there's like so pixelated, and like everything just looks so shitty. And the number one thing that a lot of people bring it up is like, dude, the military has the biggest budget in the world, especially the United States military. And they can't get better fucking cameras where you can actually see what you're looking at.
Right.
Because it literally looks like a dot. You know, they're like, you can hear the video reactions where the guys in the plane are like, oh my god, look at that, blah, blah, blah. But what you're looking at is literally a dot just going like across the screen. You know, to me and you, it looks like
nothing.
Yeah, nothing. And like, it's kind of weird. We're trying to go by their interpretation of it, which is like, oh, it's traveling at this speed, doing this and that, blah, blah. So number one thing is they should have better cameras.
But they were saying that they have hella proof of, like, different...
Where's the proof at?
Forms of that. I don't know. They say that they have, like, ridiculous amounts of proof.
I want to see the rest of the proof, because the only proof we've seen so far is the shitty videos.
They can't release it.
Really?
It's, like, fucking hidden.
And you know what's interesting that you bring that up, the fact that they can't release the... more proof is basically they're saying, one of the opinions I heard right now is the U.S. government is purposely releasing all these like UFO sightings and saying like, oh dude, there's all these UFOs, like we gotta figure this out, just
we gotta figure
yeah, exactly
out.
just
what's gonna happen,
just so they can get a bigger
evacuation plan.
No, but I heard that the only reason why they're doing it is like those videos are fake. The U.S. government is like, or whoever filmed those, they're making it seem like they're real just so that they can get like a bump in their budget. So that like for the next year when they're asking for, you know, like more money from the government, they can be like, hey, we're tracking down UFOs now. We need $5 billion more dollars because we need to find these UFOs. And then the government, now that, you know, everyone in America is like, so interested about the UFOs, everyone wants to find out, so everyone's gonna approve it. You know what I mean? Like if it's like in some sort of law or like, you know, bill that's gonna be passed, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, find the UFOs, approve the $5 billion. And some people are saying that basically it could be fake. It could be a U.S. government's way of just weaseling themselves into a bigger budget, which they already have a ridiculous budget.
We live in a fucked up world.
We do.
Who knows? We need an evacuation plan. We need a safety kit.
Where would we evacuate to?
I don't know. Don't we have like aren't there like little centers that we have for emergencies?
Aren't there little centers? I don't think there's a single emergency center in Los Angeles.
Do we have bunks?
Wait, remember we just watched that video the other day about how there's nuclear bunks in New York,
that's what I was saying.
And Los Angeles doesn't have any?
Oh yeah, LA doesn't.
LA doesn't have any nuclear bunks, like public nuclear bunks. New York has public nuclear bunks that you can run into in case of a nuclear attack.
We're definitely getting nuked first.
Yeah, Los Angeles and New York are the number one place to get nuked.
Bye Hollywood. They want to tear us down.
Bro, we would all fucking die.
Oh yeah, we're the first ones, New York and LA.
You know what I always think about
targets.
Is when America dropped those
SF too.
Yeah, facts. When America dropped those nuclear bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, those were big cities, popular cities where millions of people died, or like, you know, thousands of people died, basically hundreds of thousands. California and New York are so densely populated. If someone dropped a nuke on us, everyone's like literally 10% of the world's richest people are gonna die because they all live in California. Like it'd be literally ridiculous.
I try not to think about that because of Spiral. I literally like that's
because of Spiral.
No, I spiral thinking about that because it's very likely to happen. We're kind of.
It's very likely to happen.
I think so. And I just don't. I'm just really scared for that.
The only thing that kind of protects us is the fact that we're so far away from like all of our enemies. You know, like we have hella water in between all of us, but like they have fucking missiles that they can launch from China that'll hit America in like 30 minutes. You know, like so. I wonder like what you saw the whole thing between, and also I don't want to get on any sides or anything like that, but I'm just talking about the footage I saw of like Israel attacking Palestine, and the Palestine has like something called the Iron Dome, which is like if they see missiles coming in, they shoot their own missiles that hit the missiles in the sky and like blow it up so it doesn't touch the ground or whatever. Did you see the footage of it? Looks like hella fireworks in the sky, but it's literally missiles being blocked in the air by other missiles. And it's like I was watching that, it's like literally there's the whole city. I forgot, I think Israel was like sending hella missiles at the city, and Palestine was like shooting their own missiles at the missiles to defend themselves. And like they were doing a pretty good job at it, but like hella missiles still like fucked up the place or whatever. But I'm just thinking, like, does Los Angeles have anything like that? Like, what are we gonna do if we have a missile sent at us?
I don't know. I'm like, what's up with the world? Like,
oh, the world's been like this forever.
I know, but it's still like every area is so dangerous right now. Extra dangerous, I feel like.
I wonder, like, what is the safest place here, babe?
To travel to?
Yeah, what is the safest place in the world, like, country-wise?
I mean, yeah. Obviously, the world's always been.
Imagine this is a fucking plane dropping a bomb.
We get nuked right now.
I love you, babe.
This didn't age well.
I know, right? Either way, so let's
just move on to something.
Yeah, let's get back to the
funny or something.
So these are I'm gonna be reading the Instagram or some of the funniest Instagram questions that I got from my post earlier. Ghostface710_ said, "Have you ever smoked DMT?" I have not.
No, I have not.
I want to try it. I'm interested. You know why? Because DMT lasts only 10 minutes, but it like mentally it lasts a long time, where the main effects of DMT is you can't tell the difference between time. You can't tell the difference between a minute and an hour type shit. So like in your head you can be doing something for a long time, but it's only 5 minutes in reality.
I know, and that freaks me out the most.
Exactly, like what could happen?
It's just gonna feel like forever though, and even though it's only 5 minutes still in your head, it's going to feel like forever, and you're gonna be freaking out.
Imagine you're like, I want this to end. I want, like, let me out of here. I want this to end. But you're like, you have a year worth of tripping.
Yes, that's what I'm so scared. I don't. Oh God, no. Yeah. I'm good. I'm good with the mushrooms.
You were scared of mushrooms in the beginning too.
Yeah, but it's chill. It's actually way more chill than I thought.
We have another question from Space Goes Dog Herp. He said, "Will you make the pool Jello?" That is a good idea.
How would we do that?
It gets cold as fuck at night. That's the refrigerator. No. In the beginning of the day, we just empty hella Jello packets in there. Bro.
It would have worked in the winter for sure.
Let's do that for the 24-hour stream.
We can try.
Make the Jello pool.
We also need to like think of ideas.
No, I know exactly. We need to do a stream where we think of ideas with the viewers and shit. Abe Kroger said, "Can you get a girl pregnant through anal?" No, right?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay, let's see. Someone else said, Sato Hilov said, "How old are you?" I'm 27 years old.
I'm 23.
Boom. Keystone said dabs or flower. Flower. Right now. Okay.
Dabs hurt. I cannot do it. I do not know how Yuri did it like all day, every day. That
remember
shit
back in the day,
hurt.
I used to dab all the time.
Sometimes I'll be like, okay, fuck it, I'll do a dab, and I'm
like,
oh, I automatically regret.
I know.
I automatically regret. I'm good.
Anita Lay said, "Harmonious Man meaning, dream guest, favorite podcast, favorite anime, favorite guest so far." That's hella questions.
Ooh,
let me
dream guest.
Who's your dream guest? Drake.
No, guess.
Aaron Carter.
Really? I mean, that would be
Nick
amazing.
Jonah.
Nick Jonas?
Nick Jonas.
I don't even like Nick Jonas.
Did you see what... You know Bandman Kevo?
No.
He's like a rapper he like manages OnlyFans girls. He posted a clip, or he was like doing an interview, and during the interview he said, he's like, I don't trust no girls out there, because he's like, I know for a fact that, he's like, even if I was with a girl for a long time, he's like, if Drake pulled up and got down on his knee and said, "Will you marry me?" to my girl in front of me, he's like, I know she's gonna say yes. And he's like, I'm not on Drake's level, so I still got work to do. And I was like, damn. So even he knows the Drake theory. And I always tell Rylee, I'm like, if Drake slid in your DMs and said, "What's up?" what would you do?
And I would say, no, I'm married.
You're a liar.
Yeah,
You're such a... If Drake hit you up.
Yes.
You would get so...
I would never do that. I'd be like, damn, Drake hit me up.
You get so geek.
Crazy.
Yeah, you get so excited. And then you'd be...
Okay, if Beyonce hit you up, you would be like...
I'd be like, oh, I already got the best girl in the world. Get out of here.
Yeah, you would, but you'd be like... Oh fuck! Beyonce just hit me.
I'd be like, babe, I'm a hot commodity out here. You're gonna try to keep me.
I'd be like, shook as fuck, but.
And then within the next day, you're gonna be thinking in your head like, 1-bedroom apartment with a kiddie pool with Yuriy, mansion in Canada with a giant pool with Drake. With a Chrome Hearts Bentley.
Flattered, but no thank you.
Oh wow, that's cap. Okay, we'll see.
But anyways, my dream guest.
Who
do you think my dream guest?
I don't know. I guessed. I already gave 2 guesses. You can't have me keep guessing.
Jhené Aiko for sure.
Okay, Jhené Aiko. Okay, that would be a sick one.
That would be amazing. I love her. I love listening to her in interviews because she doesn't really do them often. And she's just so cool. And she loves cats too, so I feel like
if we had the cats around, she'd be like,
so happy.
They're the best.
Who's your dream?
My dream guest?
Or guest.
Who the fuck would my dream guest be? Fuck, dude. I don't know. Rob Dyrdek.
That would be amazing.
If I could talk to... Dude, every interview he's done, they ask him about Robin Big a million times because everyone loves the show, but it would be so cool to talk to him about that stuff. And just be like, I don't know, asking all these questions. You know what's funny? When Robin Big was popular, I was in middle school. And I had these friends who told me, one day they were like, yo, dude, he's like, I went to my friend's house, and like my friend had a friend who was like rich, and he lived in Hollywood Hills or something like that. And my friend told me that he went to his friend's house, his rich friend's house, and he realized that he lived next door to the Robin Big house. And he was like, dude, he's like, me and my friend went to go knock on their door, and he said they knocked on the door. He said, Drama fucking opened the door. And they said that Drama was like faded as fuck, like high as hell. And they said the whole as soon as they opened the door, they just smelled all this weed smoke. It was like hot box in there and shit. And then basically they just said they wanted to say hi, and Drama told them to leave or whatever. But they were just.
I was thinking that they were gonna invite them in to skate or something.
No.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be.
They
cool.
told him to fucking leave, but I was surprised to hear that he was like smoking. I was like, this is before I even started smoking, and I was like listening to that, and I was like, what? I was like, Rob Dyrdek smokes weed? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know why I didn't guess that already.
You're so innocent back then.
I know. Jesus Valenzuela. Oh wait, hold on. Did we finish answering the? Hold on. I wanted to answer the first question this girl asked. Anita Lay. She said, "Harmonious Man meaning." So basically, I'm not sure if I've talked about this before, but basically, when I was in high school, I think when I was in 10th or 11th grade, I had some sort of book assignment where we had to read about how China was slowly growing, and China was expanding, and China was like taking over big, more and more territories to expand their land. And one of the, I forgot what area it was, but one of the territories China was trying to take over was like a village. And everyone in this village, there's movies about this, everyone in this village like heard that China was coming to take them over. So everyone in the village was like, fuck that, we're not gonna let them take over. So it was like, I don't know how many people were in the village, but it was like a giant community of people. They all decided to like all together learn how to fight, and like learn how to fight against the Chinese or whatever. And they joined together as like a giant fucking army, basically, of like however many people were in this village, probably a couple hundred people. And they were called the Group of Harmonious Fists. And I remember listening to that word, and I was like,
love it.
I was like, damn, that's fire. A group of harmonious fists. Like, it just means like they're all fighting together. And I was like, that's fire. And I never really thought about the word harmonious in a cool way. But after I heard that word harmonious, I was like, that's a pretty sick word. And then like literally maybe like 4 or 5 years later, when I started my YouTube channel, like I thought back to that time. I was like, I like that word harmonious. So I was like, I'm gonna make my YouTube channel Harmonious Man.
I never heard this story.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Cool. I love that. Because I think that's a dope name too.
Really?
Harmonious.
But I didn't realize that a lot of people don't know how to spell harmonious. That's like the reason why a lot of people can't find me on Instagram, on YouTube.
We should have just been the Harmonious Show.
No.
Yeah.
I like Tent Talks.
We don't even have a tent anymore.
We're gonna have a tent soon once we get to the new location, hopefully.
Harmonious show.
The Harmonious.
Pod.
I don't know, the pod. Jesus Venezuela said, when are you gonna roll out merch? So Rylee and I are gonna be taking like sample pictures today so that the artist can like make an image that kind of looks like Rylee and I. And basically, I'm turning down the mics just a little bit because our neighbors are like washing the fucking lawn or some shit. Either way, we're gonna have the merch done in like a month. I swear.
I'm excited for it.
I've talked about this before where you still don't have this. I've talked about this before where we still have not. Thank you, huge shout out to all of our Patreons, and I'm gonna shout all you guys out a little bit later on. But we still have not like withdrawn any of the money that was collected in the Patreon. And I already told Rylee, I was like, we should use all that money to produce like the best merch we can, so we can like give it to our Patreons, and then like whatever's left over, we can like put up for sale on a website or something like that, so everyone else can get the merch as well.
But we definitely want to give it to the Patreons first.
Exactly, to everyone who fucking supports. So guys, before we drop that merch pack, you know what I mean, you have a chance to join the Patreon. What's something that will always be in fashion no matter how much time passes? And that question was by Yeah Right Dude on Instagram.
Hoop earrings and lip gloss.
Really?
Always looked good, right?
I guess so. What else?
Classic look.
Wait, hold it. Can you elaborate a little bit more? I'm gonna close the windows really quick.
Jeans and a white tee. Always looks good. I don't know. I feel like there's always so many trends, like constantly going in and out. Especially now.
Did you hear about?
But I feel like a lot of things keep coming back into style. Like right now, the 70s are like it's all groovy, trendy. Like look at this tie-dye shirt. Mm-hmm. You know.
Did you say look at this groovy tie-dye shirt?
I said tie-dye shirt because this is like the trend, I guess.
Tie-dye stuff. It is back in fashion right now. Did you see what happened in North Korea?
What?
North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un or whatever. Mm-hmm. He basically released a new law. They have so many laws oppressing the people out there. It's like a crazy dictatorship. But he released he hates Western culture. He does not want the North Koreans to do anything like Americans because he hates Americans. But he really likes this one basketball player. I forgot his name. But either way, thank you so much, Jetset, for the $3 dono. I really fucking appreciate that, dude. But anyways, Kim Jong-un basically he made skinny jeans and mullets illegal in North Korea because he said skinny jeans and mullets are a sign of Western culture.
Okay.
Skinny jeans on guys specifically.
He's crazy though. Oh wait, sorry, I didn't say that. Take that back.
Why? He is crazy. He's a dick. He can't do shit to us. He's a dictator. Imagine we die. Bro,
he's really scary.
If we get killed by North Korea, we're going viral.
We're going viral.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
We're gonna be like an artist that goes, famous after like he passes away.
We're gonna be a Van Gogh.
Like imagine we're the reason why a nuclear attack hits Los Angeles. He wants to get rid of us.
What's the next question?
That would be fucking ridiculous.
Okay. Talk about that.
Why are you so scared of it? Tashina Tony said, "Hey, Rylee and Yuriy, my question is there more to coincidence, or is everything coincidence?"
I do really believe in like everything happens for a reason type of stuff. You know what's
interesting is I notice a lot of coincidences in my life where
synchronicities.
Even like the main thing I notice. Well, like, I think the only thing I've ever noticed, and it happens to me a lot, and maybe it's because I pay so much attention to it, where there's, like, a theory where people will say that, like, yo, Rylee, you're going to see the number 9 a lot today. And then just by me telling you, hey, you're going to see the number 9 a lot today, even you unconsciously, without even thinking about it, as you're driving around, as you're doing your day and, like, looking at stuff, every time you see the number 9, you're going to be like, oh, I saw it. There's the number 9. And then, like, it's going to be in your head that, like, oh, I am seeing the number 9 a lot today. Yuri is right or whatever. Like, I could put that information in your head where you're going to kind of make it happen just by thinking about it. And anyways, I noticed that in my life, usually whenever I'm dealing with personal issues or, like, like personal things where I have to make a decision to. If I talk to someone like in the street or one of my friends, or like if I just have some sort of casual conversation, I'll notice that the thing that I'm thinking about, without me even bringing it up in the conversation, that topic will get brought up in a way where like it'll get discussed, and then like at the end of the conversation I'm like, damn, like that gives me a new insight on that problem I was just having, and I didn't even expect to have that conversation. And then I'll think it's weird how this random person just started talking about the thing that I'm having a problem with. And then what's funny is, what else that kind of has, how that it's happened before too between you and I, where you and I will be either arguing or talking about something, right? And then we'll go talk with someone else or have a conversation with someone else, or someone will be talking to me, bringing something up, and then they'll bring up the thing that we're having a conversation about. And then there's been situations before where you'll tell me like, I can't believe you told that person like the thing we were talking about. And I'm like telling you like, no, I didn't even bring it up. Like they just say these things. And it's so weird where I notice that like it just happens like by coincidence, where people doesn't happen a lot, but I've noticed where people will sometimes talk about stuff that I'm thinking about already, and it's so weird. I'm just like, and I think like that's the world kind of giving me answers for the stuff I'm worried about.
Exactly. It's the energy kind of shit. I feel that all the time.
It's like the Secret. You know what The Secret is?
That book.
Yeah, that book where it's just like the shit you think about like kind of happens to you type stuff or whatever. So
your thoughts manifest.
Sometimes I do think, basically to answer to Sheena Tony's question, sometimes I do think that there is more. Stop looking at the screen, babe. There's more to coincidence.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite cannabis strain?
Gelato.
Stop looking at the screen. I'm putting this away. Jesus. Okay.
I'm just
gelato.
Like, looking. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We never buy gelato.
I know, but it's my favorite strain.
You've never asked to buy gelato once.
But it's like we always get whatever.
That's true.
I don't care, but like
I really don't care either.
I always just say gelato.
My favorite strain is
because of that song, "The Money Go Where I
Go." Oh, you like Hoodrich Pablo? You fucking love Hoodrich Pablo. My favorite strain is Jack Herrera.
Oh yeah, you told me that before.
I'm like a huge fan of indicas because indicas, get you higher technically, but I like Jack Herrera because of the flavor.
Yeah.
It tastes so fucking good.
Girl Scout cookies. I like the basics. Gelato.
Samzy said, "Do you have any siblings?"
Yes, I have 5 siblings. Jeez. I have a big ass family. I know she does. Guys.
So explain to them. It's how many brothers, sisters?
I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
My oldest, you're like in the middle, right?
Yeah, I'm the middle, the forgotten child, the black sheep.
I've heard of that.
But the chillest. Anyways, I have my oldest sister is 32. Roman is my oldest sister is Brittany. My older brother is Roman. He's 27. He's Yuri's age. And then Michaela, who's 21. Michael is 17, and then Jordy's I think 11 or 12.
Oh, you don't know.
I think he's 12. He's 12.
Kids grow so fast. It's
I
hard
know.
to keep track sometimes.
It's too hard to keep track.
We're
all spread out. So the oldest is 32 and the youngest is 12.
Which is cool and interesting.
Yeah, it is cool and interesting.
You guys can all help each other out and stuff like that.
We definitely are very close.
That's good.
I love them very much.
I have 2 older sisters, and today is actually their birthdays. I have their twins.
Birthday.
They're not like super identical twins. To a lot of people who see them for the first time, they'll be like, "Oh, I can't tell them apart." But I have seen them my whole life, so I can tell them apart. And they're honestly not identical. They're slightly look the same, but they're not identical. But today's their birthday. They don't want to know people to know how old they are, but May 23rd is their birthday. So happy birthday to my sisters, Elaine and Lee. I love you guys.
Aww.
And then we had someone say, "Can I come on your podcast to tell you how much a fan I am?" Yeah. So we bring on Patreons almost every episode. We're not gonna bring on Patreon this episode, but we bring on Patreons usually every episode. Usually when we have a guest, so they can ask some questions to our guest. But yeah, that is a good way for people to come on our podcast. I have had that question before from other people DMing me asking like, "Hey, can I come on your podcast? Come on Tent Talks?" And I feel weird telling people that. Basically, our goal is not to interview people or have like crazy big guests on, even though we do it sometimes. The main thing is to have our friends on, like whoever we are close with, that would just like come on and just like add to the chill conversations, basically.
Yeah. Exactly.
What kind of questions do you find?
How did you know Rylee was the one?
I told Rylee this before, and honestly, it was on the first day we met where the first day we met, we talked about this. I was like, a whole bunch of shit happened. I thought there was red flags and whatnot.
Oh my god.
But basically, when Rylee and I finally met for the first time, I'm sorry, guys. Jesus Christ. When Rylee and I met for the first time, I got in her car and she was like, we were like trying to think, what should we do? And I was like asking her like, oh, what do you want to do? She's just, and I asked Rylee, I was like, what do you want to do? And she's like, oh, I'm down for anything. And I was like, are you down to? I didn't know what to do. And honestly, my favorite thing growing up in Hollywood, especially once I got a car or whatever, was to drive up to Hollywood Hills. And there's so many nice viewpoints where you can park up and just like chill and smoke by a viewpoint and just like chill there for a while. That was my favorite thing to do at the time. I haven't done it in a while, but I would still say it's like something that's really fun to do. I just haven't had a chance to do it because now I can smoke in my apartment and shit. But back in the day when I lived with my parents, I was like, I couldn't smoke at home, so I would just go, drive somewhere, so like probably meet up with a homie or something like that, and just go smoke and chill. And anyways, I asked Rylee, what do you want to do? And she's like, I'm down for anything. And I said, like, are you down to go up to this spot and just like smoke and like chill by this viewpoint? And she's like, yeah. She's like,
no, I think I asked you. I was like, do you just want to go smoke and
okay,
go like take me to like a cool spot?
So that was okay. Thank you for bringing that up, because I remember if I had brought it up and you said, okay, I'm down, it would have been one thing. But I remember you brought it up. Yeah. You were like, oh, I'm down just to go smoke and chill somewhere.
I was like, show me like the coolest spot in Hollywood and like let's smoke.
Mm-hmm. As soon as you told me that, I was like, we think the same. I was like, yes, like we actually, like, she's down to do the stuff that I'm down to do, which is basically nothing.
I honestly knew that night too.
Really?
I was just like, we're gonna be like the best friend, like the best of friends.
Aww.
Like, the perfect match.
Why did I say anything particular?
Just because we vibed well and like we had the same sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you're adorable.
Jeez, I have a giant herpes on my lip right now.
I still love you.
All right, what's the next question?
What do you do to stay motivated / happy?
What do I do?
Motivated, governor.
You want to answer that first?
What do I do to stay motivated and happy? Honestly, I have a tough challenge with this myself.
Yeah.
But I guess just setting goals for myself, like, keeps me motivated. Like, if you set if you set a goal for yourself to achieve, you're gonna be motivated to achieve that goal, and you're gonna feel like shit if you don't cross that off your checklist. So I feel like that really does motivate me, and obviously Yuri motivates me all the time. Having my little kitties motivate me because they depend on me to live and shit.
Honestly, that does motivate me.
But Yuri really does motivate me all the time.
Oh, thanks.
Because he's really like the hardest worker. He really takes everything super seriously, and he motivates me to want to work harder too.
Oh, thanks, babe. And what motivates me? I would say you motivate me as well in certain ways where like I wanna be able to do better, like cooler stuff, and like have like a better experience in life with you, and like to do stuff with us together and stuff like that. So exactly. that definitely motivates me, like wanting to be like in a better position in life where we don't have to work so much, or like you don't have to work 2 jobs and stuff like that. So that definitely motivates me a lot. And then also, like, I always talk about this, how it's like one thing to get all your motivation from people telling you, like, oh, this is sick on the internet, but you can easily, that motivation can transform into something, negative, where people will be hyping you up to do something dangerous or bad for you. And sometimes people can say that some of the stuff I do, which is kind of bad for me, which is like taking a lot of shots and shit on stream, but definitely it's fucking people in my Instagram DMs and then in the comment section like telling us we're doing a good job and like hyped on the podcast.
Yeah.
And then especially now that after we had Adam on the last podcast, dude, that one's over 30,000 views now.
Over 1K likes.
Over 1.1K likes. It's fucking insane. So like obviously since that podcast, huge shout out to Adam for coming on. Since that podcast, we've had a lot of new eyes, on the channel and on our podcast. And we've had like, I'm not sure how many you've had, but I've had like a good amount of like DMs saying like, hey, my first time tuning into your podcast. I really like you guys' shit, and they're like happy and like hyped on it, and like that motivates me for it as well, that people actually like what we're doing.
Honestly, yeah, the messages that I get to like make me it keeps me wanting to exactly like, okay, sorry, this is why I'm telling you,
that was a good punch.
I'm reading a book every day so I can learn how to express myself better. But that's exactly why it motivates me to like want to be a better podcaster and stuff. Just like the little messages saying how great we're doing, and I just see us having so much more potential and growing.
And it makes you want to keep working harder and stuff like that, right?
And it's true. Like, it does take a while for a podcast to kind of get into the swing of things, and for like our personalities to progress on camera too.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I just want to work on being a better podcaster too.
Same. Honestly, people, can say that like, oh, Rylee was so nervous during the last podcast because there was like that one moment where he didn't say anything, but you can definitely tell that I was super nervous too, because during all of our other Tent Talks where we're sitting here or we, like just doing it ourselves, like I'm talking like this. I'm talking very normal and like slow and like whatever. But during that podcast, I was talking so fast. I was like, it was like fucking insane.
It's because we're just like, fuck, we don't want to waste this fool's time. He's
exactly.
such a busy person.
I think that's what it was.
He probably does not. It just feels weird. It just feels weird. I don't know how to
You just feel like indebted. You know what I mean? Like to like do a good job.
I mean, you're like kind of used to like being around people like this all the time, but like, I don't know. For me, it's like, whoa, that was like a big deal. Like, such a huge opportunity.
Same here for me too. Like, and honestly, that's why I'm saying like.
And I know you were nervous too, so it was kind of refreshing to hear that you were also nervous, and I'm not tripping.
But what's funny is like I didn't really think about it or notice how fast I was talking until I rewatched the podcast, and I was like, what the funniest thing was the live chat replay, and I was like looking at what the chat was saying, and they were just like, Yuri's talking so fast, his gums are smoking, and they're just like talking they're just like talking about how, making jokes about how fast I'm talking, and I was just like, it was fucking hilarious to me just to see that. And then it was also kind of crazy for me to realize like sometimes when we're doing the Tent Talks podcast, like I feel like I'm pretty comfortable and I feel like I'm doing a good job sometimes, but then I'll rewatch it and I'm just like, I'm saying the word like so many times. I'm saying and like my sentences and my questions are not fluid at all. They're very jumping all over the place. That's what I'm saying. I sound very, very, very dumb like when I listen back to myself. Oh my God. And I'm just thinking about everyone else who's like listening to me for the first time and listening to me like during that thing. And I'm just like, fuck, dude, I sound like a fucking idiot. And,
that's why I was like, fuck, I literally can't listen to this because I sound so dumb. But I understand what you're saying. Like, we really do have to listen to it so we can see how to improve. And, like, you want to see that, so you were like, fuck, no, I don't want to sound like that
exactly.
again.
And even now, like, I'm trying to put a mental effort towards not saying like so many times, not repeating the same word so many times. But even now, like, I still do it. And it just, like, it's something that I'm going to have to develop over, a long-ass time. It's so easy to see someone else like Joe Rogan, and talk on their podcast, and it seems so relaxed, but it still seems like so fluid and good, and you think like, oh, that's easy. Sorry guys, I can do that too. But then once you sit down and you're actually doing it, you realize like, oh fuck, like it does take hella practice. Like he's
been doing this for like 11 years.
He has like 1,000+ podcasts, so he has so much experience just talking and reading the room and
you can't compare it to that.
I'm definitely not comparing us to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, you can't. It's not going to be that easy. He's been doing this for so long.
I know. What's the next question?
Where do you and Rylee see yourselves 10 years from now? Peach asked that.
Oh.
Shout out to Peach.
Where do you see us?
Oh, 10 years?
That's scary.
Oh my God.
That's a long time. Rylee and I have
being our own bosses together, working for ourselves. I guess, creating our own businesses, traveling.
I kind of envision us having hopefully, in my mind, what I would want to happen, in 10 years for us is to have a house with a pool.
Yeah.
And
that too.
Maybe a mini Yuriy running around skating.
Aww.
And then yeah, same thing, like for us to be like working on like our own like interests and like kind of like that's what's like kind of paying the bills is the stuff that we're interested in, you know, like that's always been like my goal since like leaving high school is like I especially since getting my first couple jobs is like I always wanted to do something that I'm interested in, and then that's like also what pays the bills, you know, which is something you have to kind of like realize over life is like what are the things that you are interested in, you know.
Yeah, I just want us to be stable and happy, and yeah, with
actually,
a pool
yeah.
and a hot tub.
You bring up a good point. Fuck, honestly, I'm gonna change my answer. Fuck all the rest. My wish or envision, you know, for us in 10 years is just to be together and happy and healthy.
Aww,
healthy and happy. That's the biggest thing you can wish for. It's so easy to just to be like, oh, I want
this
a mansion, I want this, I want that, or whatever. But you know, health is like one of the, you know, biggest assets in life that can be easily taken away from you. So just like as long as we're in 10 years together, happy and healthy, that's all I can wish for.
With the mini Yuriy.
With the mini Yuriy.
And Rylee.
No, just the Yuriy.
2 Ryleys.
Do we have any more? Any more good ones, or did you go through all the good ones already? Let's do like 2 more. Let's do 2 more questions. Also, $5 questions as well. If anyone wants to jump in really quick before we end this little segment. Huge shout out to every single person part of the stream right now, part of the podcast. Mini Yuriy sounds like a bad idea. Little mini Yuriy running around, bro. I can't even imagine the stress I'd have to deal with. Wait, hold on. Let me just see some. Okay, you already read that one. Craziest thing that's happened at your job that most people wouldn't know about, from You Ain't Hardfoo on Instagram. Craziest thing that's happened at my job that most wouldn't know.
Wait, what?
About.
Read it again. Sorry.
The question was, that's why you should not read the chat.
No.
Craziest thing to happen at my job that most people wouldn't know about. But I feel like everything that's crazy that's happened has been on stream. You know, it's like it's all been on stream or on like recorded.
Craziest thing that happened at my job.
That's a really hard question. He has let me read the other. He has 2 of them right here. And then he also asked, how'd you get into urban exploring and how are you not scared of heights? So just a quick answer for that one. I got into urban exploring because I found this guy called James Kingston on YouTube and Ali Law. And can I just say that James Kingston has recorded some of the craziest videos you can ever fucking think of. The Eiffel Tower, you know, in France or whatever, it does not have its own private security like a lot of stuff in America does. The Eiffel Tower has the French military as its protection. The French military is standing out there 24/7 with guns and shit, making sure people don't fuck with the Eiffel Tower.
Because it's a landmark.
Because it's a huge landmark. It's it's a big ass deal. It's basically like a big deal to them. And obviously everyone else in the world. But either way, James Kingston has a video where he fucking snuck into the Eiffel Tower, climbed that shit by hand, did not take an elevator, he climbed that shit by hand, and he said he spent 8 hours climbing around the Eiffel Tower with his homie. He said he had to shit and piss off the side of it because he was up there for so long. And honestly, not only the Eiffel Tower, he's done so many other crazy videos. He was I'm not sure how many people have heard this, but it was like a viral news article that some urban explorer got kicked out of Dubai by the Dubai secret police. Like Dubai has its own version of the FBI. I forgot the name of it, but basically the FBI from Dubai came to some dude's apartment who was known for urban exploring and told him like, hey, you got to get the fuck out of here or else you can be like arrested type shit. And it was this guy, James Kingston. He's fucking gnarly. I think he's banned from Paris. He's banned from Dubai.
You showed me him.
He's done like the gnarliest stuff ever. And then guess what? He got literally anal fucked by YouTube because all of those videos that I'm telling you about have like, they got like 10 million views, 20 million. Like some of his videos were insane. They got like 50, 100 million. They were like literally mega viral, right? He was like super insane, like going super popular. And then YouTube introduces a new rule where they're like, hey, you can't promote self-harm or dangerous activities, right? So they tell James Kingston, they're like, hey, all your videos promote dangerous activities. You're illegally climbing into all these sites. So they tell him like, hey, either we're going to delete your YouTube channel, which, you know, that's his main income source. And like he has like millions of subscribers. So they're like, yo, either we're going to delete your YouTube channel or you have to delete all of your videos. And all of his videos are just like good memories and also like tons of views. All those comments, you know, the comments get deleted too. And like some of the comments are just from back in the day, you know, like 5-6-year-old comments that like it would be cool to go back to. But either way, they told me you have to delete all your videos. And he said he made a whole video about this where he said he was talking to his YouTube representative, and he asked them like, hey, can I just private my videos so no one can see them anymore? Like I don't have to delete them. And his YouTube rep told him like, no, even if you private them, you're still gonna get your YouTube channel deleted. You have to permanently delete all your videos, right? So James Kingston had this fucking difficult decision of like, fuck, I have to delete all my viral YouTube videos, so just to keep his YouTube channel. And then he kind of transitioned into becoming a streamer, so he wasn't even doing climbing videos anymore. So he wanted to save his YouTube channel, so he's like, fuck it, I'm deleting my videos. He deleted all of his fucking videos to save his YouTube channel. And then guess what, a year later his same YouTube representative contacted him again, and they were like, hey, guess what, change of rules, dude, your videos are fine now, you can, you know, re-upload them.
And he didn't have them saved?
No, he has them saved, but it's like, you're not going to get that same amount of views. If you upload a video that goes viral, hits 50 million views, the chances of you uploading it 3 years later or 5 years later and getting the same amount of views is like impossible. And basically he was told like, hey, sorry about that, but you're able to upload your videos again. So YouTube made him delete all of his fucking viral shit.
Haters.
And then they fucking told him like, oh, you can put them up again. And then guess what, he's doing the slow process of re-uploading all of his old YouTube videos, and they're getting like 20,000 30,000 views. It's fucking sad.
He risked his life for these videos.
Bro, he really did. A lot of these videos.
For real? He literally did.
But anyways, those are two dudes that got me into urban exploring, is Ali Law and James Kingston. But I just thought James Kingston had an interesting story where he got kind of butt fucked by YouTube really bad.
Wait, let me read a question.
You gotta be a little bit quicker though, babe.
Wait, I'm okay.
Just choose one.
1 second. I'm not gonna leave the dead
That's
air.
what I'm saying. Is that you gotta.
Okay.
You can't think too long.
I am.
Babe.
Okay, wait. I got it. It takes me a second to choose one. What are your 3 favorite skate tricks?
I've explained to Rylee before that some of the corniest and worst questions you can get asked as a skateboarder is, number 1, what's your best skate trick? You know, how long have you been skating? And like there's a couple.
I told you this.
There's a couple other ones, but either way, what are my 3 favorite skate tricks? Yeah. That's not that bad of a question, because it's not what is your best skate trick. It's like what are your 3 favorite ones. And to be honest, number 1 favorite one is a shifty ollie. Like once I learned how to shift my ollies and like kind of get a little tweak to it, that's been my favorite thing to do ever since. And like people are always just like, every time I do that somewhere, people are always just like, bro, like that's such a shifty ass ollie. And like ever since I learned it, it's not a hard thing to do. It's just been my favorite thing to do. It feels super fun, and then like people always just like think it looks hella cool as well. Obviously kickflip. I've always fucking loved kickflips. It's just like a basic go-to trick, and I feel like I have a pretty nice flick on my kickflips, and I just really enjoy doing them. And also, what would be my other favorite trick? Probably, let me think. I would say fakey backside heel. Just because I have that trick on lock, it's not a difficult trick to do for me, and I feel like it's a really nice looking trick, and you can make it look really cool, like and slow it down and stuff. So those would be my 3 favorite tricks.
Okay. Should we do one more question?
Yeah. Here, let me choose the last one.
Okay.
What'd you do? Oh Jesus.
My bad. Because people submitted new questions.
Oh really? Okay, so here's the last question I'm gonna answer. Where's the cost of living in your area? Rent/food, other stuff. I don't know. So as for food, it's all basically the same all around Los Angeles, unless you go to specific areas like Hollywood Boulevard. If you go to Hollywood Boulevard, any mall or anything like that, things are always gonna be charged $1 or $2 more. So it's just like, if you go to a popular area, it's always going to be more expensive. You can always just go to a liquor store, 7-Eleven, and it's going to be, like normal price, basically. And I feel like food and everything is, like, not that expensive, right? It's like, you can get, like, a full meal for, like, $10 and whatnot. Like, it's not that crazy. Rent is definitely insane, where the problem with rent is like it's not too expensive. It is expensive, but like you can find an inexpensive spot, but you're gonna have to spend so much time researching and finding a spot and looking at spots. Like, so basically, on average, people don't want to spend that much time doing it because it takes too much work, and like it just requires too much time. A lot of people don't have that extra time to spend, so a lot of people just end up getting whatever apartment they can, and the average prices are too much. Like Rylee and I, for this 1-bedroom apartment, pay $1,600 a month.
It's really small.
We have no central heating or cooling, where we only have one tiny AC that looks like it's like 60 years old in our living room, and we can't put one in our bedroom because the way the shit is set up, basically. So during the summer, it gets incredibly hot. We can't even sleep in the bedroom because it gets too hot. And then also the building is made out of brick, so it gets once it gets cold, the bricks hold the cold like a refrigerator. It's just like a fucking little refrigerator in here. So it's either freezing cold or too hot. We don't have a washer dryer. We don't have a parking spot. Like there's like all these things that I didn't really think about until we moved in here, and we were here for a couple months, where I'm like,
we were just kind of rushing.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Like for $1,600, we can for sure find a place with at least central heating or cooling. You know, like one of the amenities, you know, that life kind of needs sometimes.
Yeah. That's why we're moving.
Exactly. So Rylee and I are moving very soon. All right. So that's all the Instagram questions. I wanted to get into the topic that you had listed about Kylie Jenner.
Kendall.
Want to bring it up?
Okay. Pretty much.
Okay.
Kendall Jenner has released a tequila brand, and people are mad that she's cultural appropriating because she did like a photo shoot. I think she did a photo shoot. I don't know if she did like a promotional video, but she was like with these farmers, and she was like hella glammed up, and like they put braids in her hair to like make her look ethnic, like make her look like a Mexican girl, but she's not. So like hella people were outraged, and I guess like because I was trying to do a little more research on the topic, and people are mad that she called it 818 tequila, and they're saying like we don't
the 818 area doesn't support her or something.
We don't claim Kendall Jenner because there's hella gentrified areas in the 818. We don't claim Kendall Jenner or whatever. So there's just hella backlash on her tequila brand, I guess.
So I have like this.
This is like another thing about like the cancel culture shit you're kind of talking
exactly.
about.
So the like my opinion on this situation is I have no idea too much about the situation. The one thing I kind of can agree on.
I don't like how she did that like little promotional.
Yeah, the one thing I can agree on with the people outrage shit is like she could have hired a Hispanic woman to be the girl of
model,
the model. Why did she be like, I need to be the model in this advertisement?
But
it's gonna sell more. Exactly. So you can't get mad at her for that because that's a business strategy. But she could have
done it like different. She could have done it different, like where it's her at a party and she's serving tequila.
Right. Okay.
She's like the fucking bartender, and she's
so
super
at
cute.
that point we would have to find out who's the director of that commercial. Was Kendall Jenner the one who came up with that whole idea, or did someone else come up with the idea? And then if whoever came up with that, what is their ethnicity, and like what is their agendas in life?
It was a little weird though.
I just saw one photo, so I don't know. But the one thing that I wanted to bring up is people love to call especially the Kardashians out. They'll for situations like this they'll be like,
every time this
is cultural appropriating, and then the main thing they're calling them out for is they think that they're defending whatever culture that the Kardashians have disrespected. So they'll in this situation they'll be people will be like, you guys are disrespecting the Hispanic community, so we want to come into their defense, And the way I kind of look at it at this point is the people that the outrage culture is like mad at right now, it should not be Kendall Jenner. It should be the
director.
No, not even the director. It should be the fucking news outlets talking about the shit because
Daily Mail.
Because number one, the Kardashians are so big that the Daily Mail and whoever else talked about this. Everyone knows that just by talking about the Kardashians or putting a Kardashian face or Kendall Jenner, or, any one of them, the Kardashians,
it's gonna get clicks.
If you put their face in your thing or your title or your news article or whatever, it's gonna more likely get more clicks because people are gonna be like, "What is this about?" So a lot of these news companies are like, they go out of their way sometimes to like put these situations into play, or for example, I don't know how many people are outraged by this. You know, this news company, they could have found 10 people who were upset, and there was a million people who did not give a fuck. You know what I mean? And then they found 100 people who were like, that's kind of weird. And then they make a whole article about these 100 people who are upset, just so they can make an article about the Kardashians, just so that their platform can get more views. You know what I mean? And then at that point, the reason why they're making the article in the first place is to bring more awareness to the, you know, like the disrespect and like what's going on, and like, you know, like how to fix the situation is like what they would probably say. But at the end of the day, everyone knows that they're doing it for clicks and views. So the ones who are kind of being disrespectful and kind of using the Hispanic community or whatever, you know, culture at that moment to their advantage, or like kind of using them just to make a profit, or like not really caring about them, are the platforms talking about this, because they're going, a lot of the times they're going out of their way just to put a Kardashian name in their title, you know?
Yeah, that's super true too.
It's like, you should be mad at them for making a big deal over something that is actually a big deal, but they're just doing it just for clicks and views. You know, like that's the thing.
They're definitely at fault for sure with everything, though.
It's crazy. Like I've talked about this before, where that dude Tom Masso, or Tom, I forgot his name, the guy, the lawyer that DJ Vlad has been interviewing recently, he was like talking about how when he was defending Michael Jackson during the allegations of like the kids he touched or whatever, and like Michael Jackson won that case, he was talking about how the whole time the media was portraying it as if Michael Jackson was losing that case. The whole time the media was talking about how Michael Jackson's going to jail, he's for sure losing, this trial went terrible for Michael Jackson. And then he was talking about how the whole time it was the opposite. Like, he was winning the whole case. Every trial there was, Michael Jackson was doing well, you know, and the media would present it in the opposite light. And then at the end of the day, he wins this case, and we're just going to assume that, you know, justice has been served, and, like, he is, you know, innocent, you know, because the trial has been held and everything, and, like, he was found innocent, so he's presumed innocent at this point. So, you can open the door because it gets a little bit too smoky. I forgot what the fuck the point I was trying to make. God damn it. Basically,
because Michael Jackson.
No, basically, like, and like the media twisted that word in a way where this is never gonna leave the Michael Jackson name. You know what I mean? Like, him and his family are gonna have to deal with listening to those allegations for the rest of their lives, because it's never gonna get forgone. And then, if it is true, the families that were affected are gonna have to deal with this for the rest of their lives as well. But I'm just saying that the media does go crazy about certain things, and they are very rare to get called out, you know what I mean, for doing these things, because there's no one to really to call out, because who knows who owns Los Angeles Times? Some people do, a lot of people don't know.
Yeah,
a lot of people just see Los Angeles Times, and it seems like very anonymous in a way, right?
Yeah, it's just like random ass articles all the time that make no sense. They're just...
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Do you have any other topics?
No.
All
I
right.
don't think so. Wait, let me check. Let me double check.
Media corrupt as fuck. Yeah, for real. Depending on which one. Before, while Riley's looking at this, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of our Patreons. Thank you guys so much for supporting Tent Talks. Thank you so much for supporting all of our fucking content and shit, and taking the time out of your days just to fucking join the live streams and everything. But I just want to give a huge shout out to all of our patrons really quick. So, huge thank you and shout out to Dashina, Tony, Doug, Notorious Restoration, DZ, Danny, Denham, Brandon, Russell, Austin, DJ65, Tyler A, Isaiah, Zach, Gabe, Jazzy, Coffee Social 11, Hens, Rocco Blast, James, Uncle Deadly, Miguel 7, Senor 510, and Trevor. Not Trevor from Worth, but a different Trevor. So, thank you guys so much. You guys are the fucking best.
Shout out to the patrons.
Exactly. Shout out to the fucking patrons. So, did you have any other topics?
I was just going to say our moving update.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I was telling Riley that recently both Riley and I have been watching a lot of real estate videos just because I don't know why they're interesting.
They're addicting to watch.
Exactly. They're addicting to watch.
The New York ones are so addicting because they're tricked out.
Bro, exactly.
I'm like, it's kind of worth it just like having that place and that location.
I agree. To be honest, a lot of times you always hear like, this New York apartment costs millions of dollars, and you can get a house with, you know, like 15 horses, you know, in Missouri for that amount of money type shit. And you think about it like, yeah, it would be cool to have a house with 15 horses and like 18 pools and all that stuff. But then you're in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Yeah, if you want to throw an event, you're gonna have to fucking fly out all your friends who live all in Los Angeles and New York and like other, you know, big cities and shit. So to pay that amount of money and live in the middle of New York and have a sick ass view and have all this shit, honestly does seem worth it after watching these videos. It doesn't seem like you're just living in an apartment in New York for $1 million. It's like, no, you get a sick ass spot.
It's in the inside. You don't have to go anywhere else. It's so big. They have the craziest setups. There's like, I've seen like ones with outdoor pools.
Exactly. Indoor pools.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the videos Rylee and I recently watched, it was like a New York apartment that was like on the 3rd or 4th floor. And one of the walls that's on the outside of the building, one of the walls, you can press a button and it fucking comes up like a garage door. And you're on the 4th or 5th floor. So the door fucking opens and it's just literally just like a balcony immediately. And then like you just have... one of your walls disappears and your whole bedroom becomes like slightly open to the city. It's so sick. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is so cool. Who would not want to fucking live in there?
Exactly.
You know, it's like one of those like.
It just feels so one of a kind almost. Looking at them,
I feel like nowadays a lot of people are so desensitized to technology that like everyone's seen cool gadgets on TikTok and Instagram. Everyone's seen the coolest car. You know, everyone knows Tesla. Everyone knows Bugatti and like all this shit. Like it's kind of hard to surprise someone with the new technology because everyone kind of knows all this stuff already. But when you see some of these apartments, you're like, this is living in the future. Like this is some shit where like I don't know anyone living like this. This is fucking crazy.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like that.
But either way, the reason why we're talking about that, the reason why we're talking about that is because Rylee and I are looking at apartments right now, and I was telling Rylee, I was like, real estate videos do really well, you know, and I was thinking that we've already gone to a couple units or properties and we like apartments basically, and like filmed them with our phones. Rylee went to 2, I went to 1, and no, I went to 2 as well, right? Yeah, I went to 2, and
no, I went to 3.
You went to 3 and you filmed them all. So basically, Rylee and I have like a whole vlog to put together already of like us showing you guys the properties that we're looking at, and we're gonna post it on Patreon first, and then maybe like within a week or 2 we're gonna post it on. I think after we move into the place, then we post on YouTube. So we don't post the place that we moved into on YouTube or whatever, you know. But so people can like fucking see what place it is and shit like that. Either way, we just want to let you guys know that.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Louis Barbosa with a $50 dono. Holy shit, dude. Thank you so much for the fucking support.
Thank you so much.
We have to take so many shots right now, like at least 4.
One.
We still owe 2 others. Wait, hold on, we're still not done. Either way, I just want to let you guys know that we're gonna be posting the like us looking for apartments on Patreon, and then we're gonna be posting those videos on YouTube as well. And I feel like some of the places that Rylee and I are looking at are places that we might not even be able to afford, but it's just cool to look at them, and they're fucking cool, dude. Like the lofts and shit. And just like it's like you're like, bro, you know what we should do is we should pretend we're looking at a really expensive spot just to film that. We should look at like a $5,000 apartment.
This is what you get for $5,000 in Los Angeles.
We should do that. I feel like that would be fucking so sick. Either way, I feel like at this point we've come to the end of this podcast. We apologize right now that we don't have hella topics lined up. It's been kind of a hectic week. Last night was very hectic. I got too fucked up, and you know that shit carries on to the next day. Usually.
You got a bug bite on your forehead. I just noticed it.
A bug bite? How do you know it's a bug bite? Where is it?
It's right here.
No way.
Feel that?
God damn it, dude. I bet you it's a fucking spider. Oh wait, how do you know it's not a pimple?
I'll show you.
It's probably from you screaming at me earlier.
Shut up.
Either way, at this point, we're going to wrap up the podcast, but we're still going to do the after show if you're down. Jesus Christ, I think that is a bug bite.
Look at your head.
I look all sad. Either way, exact. Shout out to the real ones in the chat. Thank you guys so much for pulling up to this fucking to this podcast. We're not gonna go off live yet. We're still gonna do the after show stream, but I do want to wrap up the pod right here. So thank you guys so much for pulling up. We appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Shout out to fucking Harmonious Gang. Shout out to Tent Talks
Episode 24.
It's been good. It's been
it's been
lit. Either way, if you guys can, leave a like on this video, leave a comment, not only in the chat, but leave a comment on the actual video so that YouTube sees that, you know, there's comments being left and whatnot or whatever. And then also, if you guys haven't already, more than, I think like 60% or 50% of the people who watch our videos or our podcasts are not subscribed. So please, if you guys ever hate, or even if you guys are here just hate watching, leave a subscribe so you don't, you know, miss the next 10 talks when we go live or next live stream. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much, and peace. Now